So we are here with Sasha from our IT department. We are in the boardroom of our department CIMA 046. And this is demo of the new Crestron
the
system.
Crestron.
Okay, over to you, Sasha. Thank you.
Thank you. So first off, we just want to turn on the TV. So there's a button behind here, but there's also a remote with working batteries. So you can use that simple on button or turn it on over here. The first thing to make sure is that it's on the right input. And so you can change that by using the input button here, or as Mark taught me, you can cycle through the inputs just by pushing the on button there. And I just want to make sure that it's on computer. So that means that the TV, which is essentially just a display, like you were connecting to a secondary monitor, would be using the HDMI cable to bring video from your computer to the screen. So display only. The second cable here is actually what makes use of the Crestron, which is, you can see it as an independent USB camera, like one that you would have on top of your laptop or monitor. And so you do need both if you're going to be doing like a Zoom call or Google or Teams call, etc. And so what some of you may have on your computer is a USB port and an HDMI port, so to carry video and the information to the camera. If you do, that's great. You can just plug them directly. I have an example of that here with a PC laptop, which we'll be hooking up. Or if you just have USB-C, like a lot of the new Apple computers and some of the Dell computers, you may need this adapter, which has HDMI to carry video, the USB to carry the camera signal. And so I'll just go ahead and plug it into this computer over here, plug in HDMI, plug in the USB. It should be plug and play. Right away when you plug the USB, you should see a little green light here. That means that the Crestron is receiving power, it's on, and there's no on button there. We can see that this computer has right away used the screen and has mirrored the display. Depending on your computer and on your setup, you may have to do some work there to make sure that you're displaying either an extended desktop or mirrored the desktop. Again, depending on your computer, you may need to decide which speaker it's using. In this case, I do want to use the Crestron speaker to output sound, and essentially I'm ready to go. I could be listening to music or showing a video, etc., and the sound would work. Depending on the system that you're using, if you're meeting with Teams or Zoom, you will need to use the individual software's preferences in order to use the Crestron camera or not. Or else by default, it might be your laptop that's using its own camera and microphone. And so here I'm going to go ahead and turn on the camera, and it probably is already using the Crestron, but I will show you.
It's yeah, I think my PS backdrop there is overriding the boardroom.
I'm just going to remove the background for now so we can see clearly.
Okay.
So within Teams, it's device settings. It is important. Audio devices, this is if I want to use the Crestron soundbar as being the sound that'll, you know, whoever's talking on the other side of that conference, I'd be hearing that. The speaker, and then microphone, because it is like a USB camera, has an integrated microphone, which is very good, and then the speaker itself, and then the camera. And so we have all those here. One, I don't know why they did this, but the camera is actually called Hudley IQ. So that's the one that you'd want to be using. If not, you'd be using your laptop's integrated camera. So I don't know why they did that. I guess they have another name for the camera. And the camera does all the other work. So it accommodates for the view. If there's many people in the room, it will zoom in or zoom out in order to capture everybody. So that's on this system here. We can move on to Mark's computer. Did you want to do that, or?
Yeah, you can do that, or at least plug it in, show
Yeah.
how
So
the adapter works.
maybe you're many people in the meeting, you're hooked up like this, you can just, literally unplug. There's no problem. I mean, it'll obviously shut off the camera, etc. So here's where I need this adapter, so I'm going to go ahead and plug it in to USB-C. And so right away we see here, we did do a bit of work where we mirrored the display, so that would be something that you might have to do within system preferences and display settings, if that's what you wanted. And we did also change in the sound settings. We made sure that our output speaker was actually the Crestron, and that's just if you want to, again, watch something and have sound, video, or etc. Then again, if you're in a meeting, then you would have to, here's an example of Zoom where now I'm using the camera from the laptop. If I open up that pop-up menu, I can switch to Huddly IQ and it switches to the camera. I can also check the microphone settings, make sure that we're using the Crestron, the speakers, the Crestron as well, and then you're essentially, you're ready to go.
Sounds great. Just one question: between the speakers and the TV, there are two black bars. Is that just metal brackets, or is this actually a connection? In other words, are the TV and the soundbar somehow connected, or are they totally independent?
That's right. They're independent. They're not at all connected.
No connection. Yeah.
This is the way that you would connect. So, display to the TV, that's just a secondary monitor essentially, and then the USB cable that feeds power and brings the video, microphone, and all that information.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot, Sasha. I really appreciate you doing this.
No problem. Yeah.